Hello, and welcome to the School of Spiritual Alchemy. This is the Witchcraft and the Witching Hour Masterclass, hosted by Ray Ramsey, an intermediate level e-course. I am so excited to have you joining me. What you can expect to learn in this course is the real facts about witches and witchcraft, and how both have always been intended to serve our divine creator. Please enjoy these teachings with an open mind and open heart, for they are created by a soul on a mission to open minds and hearts to all the magical powers that lie within. Let's just do a brief run through of the subject matters of this masterclass so you can have a better idea on if you want to go ahead and continue with me or not. We will discuss magic and the difference between magic with an IC and magic with a ICK. We will go through a quick history and what exactly a witch is. We will then move into witches and witchcraft. I will provide you with the beginner witch basics, which are commonly talked about subjects of the witch world. I will move into the witching hour and discuss what exactly that is. We will talk about the science behind rituals and spells. And I will leave you guys with a space cleansing ritual, a basic ritual that you can use and sort of develop more on your own as you become more frequent into these practices. I am offering the first portion of this masterclass in the High Value Worthy Women Babes Club. Once that has been loaded, I will also be moving it over into my Thinkific school, where I will be adding to it. There'll be more modules such as crystals basics, moon magic basics. We will discuss covens, what not to do, what to do, tarot cards. We'll discuss all sorts of different witchy, wonderful magic things that I hope you grow to enjoy. All right, so now that we have that out of the way, let's go ahead and move on into You Are Magic. As we all begin awakening and finding our true selves that lie within our spiritual realm, it is time for us to acknowledge that as a spiritually conscious, awakened powerhouse of the divine feminine, we also inherently hold the magic of the witch. Now, whether this is your first interaction with the concept of witches and witchcraft, or if you've kind of been dabbling around the internet or YouTube, you will notice that the word magic, when referred to witchcraft, is spelled differently. So magic as we properly know it, MAGIC, is the proper term for performance or stage magic. Magic as in MAGICK is the proper term to use to differentiate the occult practices from the performance practices. Now, before you go getting thrown off with the word occult, let me go through and explain a little bit about that. So the word occult essentially means hidden or secret. The belief of unseen dimensions of life whose comprehensive forces can be felt on and through us. Divine power, right? This includes, but is not limited to, supernatural, mystical, magical beliefs, practices, or phenomena, acknowledgement of a supreme energy that we have the ability to open up and receive. So I don't know about everyone else, but when I used to hear the word occult, I automatically thought it was evil, right? That was back before I was willing to have an open mind and learn about other concepts of spiritual practices. The word occult was not labeled to be anything bad. It essentially just means you believe in a higher source and a higher power, and you are willing to maneuver energy with that through you. Please do not associate occult, the definition, with the ideal of quote unquote cults. A cult is a social group with a socially deviant or novel religious, philosophical, or spiritual belief and practice. A cult is a knowledge of the paranormal as opposed to the knowledge of the measurable. Essentially, if you are a practitioner of the occult, you work with energies. Ordinary people will find it hard to understand the mysteries of the power elements that you're able to utilize to heal and summon and function and manifest. It's hard for people to know that of which they have not experienced. Sometimes science can't even explain the reasoning behind these magical, mysterious powers that happen. I believe quantum physics might be the closest thing I've come across to being able to explain even some of the things that I have experienced within my own witchy practices. All right, moving right along into witches and witchcraft. The word witch derives from Wicca, which is a female variant of Wicca, describing that of the feminine energy. A craft is something that has been mastered. So witchcraft, in all actuality, is someone who has mastered the craft of feminine energy. It is essential to know that the word witch was originally given to women to devalue them. These women, labeled as witches, knew about and knew how to utilize their divine powers. Essentially, the powers to be, such as other powerful leaders and government officials, did not want everyone else to find these sort of abilities as intriguing. If everyone knew that these powers were within them, then that would corrupt the mind-controlling leaders that were in command. There is no particular one thing that would tell you for sure if you are a witch or not. I would like to state that if you are still here in this masterclass and are intrigued to keep learning more, then it is safe to bet that your inner witch is activated and it's time to step into your power. As we go through the different rituals and spell casting techniques, you may begin to remember things that you have done through your life, even in childhood, that would stand out to be an aspect of always being a witch. I had many things come up for myself. One particularly being that I loved burying things. I would take special jewels that I may have found or cool looking rocks that I found. I'd write a little life note in there, place it inside a box, and bury it in the ground. I always loved the moon and stars, and I always had altars. Of course, at that time in my life, I didn't know it was an altar. I just knew that I had specific tabletops that I wanted designated to a particular subject, whether it be friends or family, or maybe a boy I had a crush on that I really wanted to like me. One thing that I want us all to remember is that everything is energy. Whether you're casting spells, reciting mantras, in deep prayer or deep meditation, the emotions that are flowing through your body are energy. Stress is energy. Happiness is energy. Thoughts and feelings that we have every day are energy. If you are unaware of how powerful energetic frequencies are, then you will have a hard time being able to set particular intentions for spell casting. No matter the props or tools you have that you may think are working in your favor, the true magic comes from the witch and the intentions of the casted energy. It is crucial to remember that one should never, ever use their magic to interfere with the free will of any individual. There will be an adverse reaction if done so, often coming back to you 3 times worse than what you put it out as. All successful spells and rituals are equal part intention and preparation. All spells and rituals shall be performed with the pure intention of love. Any energetic practice must start and finish with a grounding technique. The grounding technique must be able to load in light and love through your body into Mother Earth and back up. No energetic practice will be closed and safe until you complete your final love and light grounding technique. You can find many guided grounding technique videos via the internet or by going to www.SOULDUCATE.com. Once registered, I will forward you my emotional maturity chart and the link to my wonderful golden grounding technique video. All right, so it wouldn't be a well put together masterclass on witches if I wasn't able to give a quick history lesson, right? If you're not into history and you find it a bore, feel free to skip this slide. For the rest of us, let's get on into it. True witches only practice within the realms of love and light. Just as we have good and bad doings in everyday life, there are good and bad doings within the energetic realms as well. Please don't let the labelings of the past define what your mind is telling you about any particular thing. As you will see in this upcoming timeline, it was definitely not a good idea to admit that one was a witch. But also, please do take notice that these power women never backed down from who they truly were. When you are one with the divine, no amount of ostracizing or segregation can keep you from serving your soul's purpose. 197 AD. The divide between men and women is created. A Christian philosopher named Tertullian states in De Cultu Feminarium that women are inherently lesser than men and that they are the devil's gateway to our world. 900 AD. Women are considered consorts of the devil. A document is recorded by Regino of Prum, a German monk, stating that women can be perverted by the devil and ride into the night with the goddess Diana. 1022 AD. The first woman is formally executed for heresy. The witch stereotype is set. The King of France, King Robert, approves the trial of over a dozen individuals for practicing religious heresy, including one woman. During this trial, she is accused of orgies, worshiping demonic entities, and killing children, ultimately defining the witch stereotype. 1231 AD. Death for failure of faith is ordered by the Church. Pope Gregory decrees execution as the punishment for anyone who refuses to adhere to the correct faith, Christianity, instituting the Papal Inquisition. 1324 AD. The first documented witch hunt occurs. Alice Kyteler, a wealthy Irish woman, is charged with witchcraft after outliving several husbands. She is accused of practicing the dark arts, having intercourse with demons, and using the lotions and spells with friends to conjure up evil spirits. This trial leads to at least 11 others close to Kyteler accused and put on trial, with some of them being executed. 1486 AD. The Malleus Maleficarum is first published. This book by Heinrich Kramer, translated as the Hammer of Witches, becomes the most popular guide to finding and torturing witches. It becomes the basis for many superstitions about witches. 1400 to 1700 AD, as many as 500,000 people are executed as witches across Europe. After the first witch hunt and the popularization of the Malleus Maleficarum, the witch craze gains momentum in Europe. Of the people executed, 85% of them were women. 1692 to 1693 AD. Over 200 people are accused in the Salem witch trials. Mass hysteria overwhelms the town of Salem, Massachusetts, as more than 200 women and men are accused of witchcraft, with 19 ultimately executed. 1951. That really wasn't that long ago. England lifts its witchcraft law. England lifts the law that imprisons accused witches. This is the end of the European witch craze, and the event that encourages Gerald Gardner to step out into the spotlight, publicly declaring himself as a witch, and share the religion of Wicca with the world, giving birth to many modern Wicca and witchcraft movements. Not all witches are Wiccan. Wicca is actually a religion in itself. Witchcraft can essentially be separate. There are still countries to this day that actively practice witch hunts. Tanzania being one of them, for example. Let's do a brief bullet breakdown of what a witch is. A witch is essentially someone who attempts to change or manipulate energy to their will. A witch is one who enjoys transforming energies, whether it be via herbs, oils, spirits, rituals, or spells, to create a desired effect. We believe in healing the mind, body, and spirit using guidance from angels, spirit, the universe, Earth's medicine, and energy. As a modern-day witch, it is up to us to redefine the definition of witch. All right, I'd like to talk about some beginner witch basics. These are common talked about subjects of the witch world. The moon. The moon rules over our emotional body, our unconscious mind, and our divine feminine. By knowing what phase and sign the moon is in, you will have a cosmic blueprint for the day ahead. Divine intuition. The power starts with you. Learn to feel things via divine downloads or insights. Do the shadow work so that your soul can surrender to fulfill its contract. As a witch, you have been divinely granted access to successfully perform spells of pure love intentions. The pentagram. The pentagram symbolizes the elements of earth: spirit, water, fire, earth, air. You can energetically draw and or visualize this symbol when calling forth these elements for protection during groundings, cleanses, or other rituals. A grimoire, or a journal. I started with the journal. Now I do have a grimoire that I use only for my specific rituals. A grimoire is used to document your soul work, spells, rituals, and downloads. You can edit them as needed, eventually perfecting your craft specific to your needs. An altar. A special spot or station with chosen ritual items that enhance, protect, and accelerate your manifesting powers. These can include but not limited to statues, crystals, oils, pictures, cloth, or colors. Let your soul lead the way and discover your own special witchy feng shui. Angels and guides. Always call in your angels and guides for protection. Energy work is real and not something to be taken lightly. Tell them that they have permission to intervene only with light and love as they see fit. The witching hour. This one's fun, guys. When does it happen? 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. The 24 hours in a day are associated with the zodiac in regards to it being synchronized at an hourly rate. Every 12 hours you go through coordinates with the 12 zodiac signs. Aries is at 9, Virgo is at 3. Virgo is the first zodiac sign on an intergalactic scale. Virgo is when all the spiritual energy is fluctuating and being pushed throughout the other zodiac signs. In turn, of course, the galaxy is also fluctuating at the same energetic level, triggering the opening of interdimensional gateways. Why does it happen? It happens so that we can discover who we are and experience direct communication with our higher self. When the human being is in full rest, the spiritual being is at its most heightened state. With the human not dictating every move, our higher self is more open for communication. Who does it happen to? It happens to those transitioning or those who are being called into a spiritual awakening. How can it be handled? Prior to falling asleep, set the intention to remember your dreams. Keep a journal, grimoire, or notebook next to your bed. Document all thoughts, dreams, and ideas that are taking place when you awake. These signs, downloads, and interactions are coming to you for a reason. There is something that you are being guided to. Even the weird stuff always has a deeper meaning. Document everything and invest a little time into doing some research to figure out the specifics of your messages. I thought it might be fun to add a little something about dreams and meanings into the end of this segment. Over the years, I've worked with many healers and mentors and spiritual guides who all have provided me answers to hidden meanings I may have been having visions of in my dreams. If you are dreaming about water, you may feel overwhelmed or unsupported by loved ones. If it's a large amount of water, it can mean you have deep emotions. Dreaming of a car crash could represent you have low confidence, or you're worried about losing something and have a lot of emotional stress. Being trapped can signify that you're not happy about where you are in life, or you're worried about a current situation. Teeth falling out. Oh my gosh, I dreamt of this one many times. Could represent you're scared about changes in your life. Dreaming about babies or having kids. You want to have kids or your inner child feels trapped. Being chased can represent your worries about an unresolved issue in your life. Dreaming of death or dying, that you've accepted the change. Taking a test. Scared of being judged or just being scared of an actual test coming up. Dreaming of buildings or houses. So generally, if you dream of a house, the house is supposed to represent your life. Rooms would represent the different aspects of your life. I used to always have dreams of the same house, and it would have many different rooms, and all the doors would be shut. I would dream of it one night, and I'd go into a room and filter through that dream. The next night, I would dream of the same house, and I would actually go into another room. It was like my dreams were continuing and continuing. And every night, I would open a different door. And behind every different door led me to different answers. If you're dreaming of killing people, then you have way too much violence and frustration in your life. If you dream of falling, you could feel like you have no control in your life, or you feel hopeless or depressed. Dreaming of being cheated on. This could happen because you've actually been cheated on before, or because you don't trust your partner. Or maybe you're being sent a sign to check into something. Dreaming of an empty room could mean you feel like nothing has changed in your life and you feel empty. Dreaming that you can't move could mean you have no control in your life, or no matter how much effort you put in, nothing changes. Dreaming of snakes could mean you're anxious about something or you feel like you're being lied to. Dreaming of wasps or hornets could mean you may have someone evil in your life, or you're not happy with the people around you. Dreaming of wetting yourself can mean you feel pressure in your life, or you actually really just have to get up and use the bathroom. Dreaming of fire can mean that you're angry or passionate about something. Dreaming of reading books could mean you want to learn new things or want new challenges. Dreaming of a dead relative could mean you want closure or you want more time with them, or they're coming to you to let you know something. Dreaming of an ex could mean you miss them or you have unresolved problems with them. Dreaming of drowning could mean you're worried about losing control and you feel overwhelmed and helpless. So those are just a few examples of how your dreams could appear to you one way, but actually mean something else. There are many professionals who decipher dreams and dream codes and learn all these different ways of shifting your perception on dreams. You could always deep dive and do a little bit of research and find some mentors who can actually either read your dreams for you or help teach you how to read your own dreams on an everyday basis. The science behind rituals and spells. With the hours of the day lining up with the zodiac, with each zodiac sign being represented by a planet, and the planets lining up with the days of the week, and the human body lining up with the energies and material of the universe, it is safe to say that we all have the power to, in a sense, manipulate our reality if we align everything just right for a specific intention. Here's a quick example. Let's say you want to increase the power of attraction. You could perform such a ritual during the waxing gibbous moon, or the half moon, between 10 and 11 p.m. The cycle of this moon contains the energies of your hopes, dreams, wishes, and magic until fully born at the full moon. This moon's energy is incredibly strong at this point, and if your energies are low, you can harness the moon's energy to increase your power and confidence. There is always a rhyme and reason why witches perform rituals and spells at certain times of the day, certain times of the week, certain times of the month, and certain times of the moon phases. The cosmos and the solar system is simply an extension of ourselves. Protons, electrons, neutrons, magnetics, atoms, etc. All of these elements are being energized through us, around us, and for us. Now, the science behind the universe and how it correlates with our human selves is vast and deep. And although I'm not a science buff, I have enjoyed many scientific teachings of Dr. Joe Dispenza. So I would definitely recommend checking him out for any scientific proof you may need on how everything functions. Cleansing a space ritual basics. I want to reiterate that it is not the props or tools that you have when performing your spells or rituals, but it is purely your intentions. Once you introduce props and tools into your rituals, these tools become energetically injected with your specific intentions. If you simply have nothing to use, you can place yourself in the middle of a room, do a grounding meditation, and spread light and love to every corner in your area. The energetic tools and props that I like to use in my rituals are all rooted from the earth. Palo Santo is a mystical tree that grows on the coast of South America. These trees are rooted in the ground for 40 to 50 years before dying and being salvaged into sticks that we now use as therapeutic and medicinal purposes. A fun fact I learned about Palo Santo is that those who harvest the wood actually discovered that there are not only male and female Palo Santo trees, but that they grow in groups of 1 male and 8 females. The 1 male actually outlives the females by a long shot. The females are the ones that live to 40 to 50 years, but a male Palo Santo tree could live up to 200 years. That's 200 years of being rooted into Mother Earth. The healing energies of those trees are just astronomical and undeniable. One more thing to know about Palo Santo is the whiter the smoke, the more pure the palo. You can, of course, also use sage. Not my preference, because I believe sage comes with a lot of specifics on an energetic level. But nonetheless, using sage or Palo Santo still takes the same beginning steps into clearing a space. You'll want a plate or heat-proof item to place your smudge choice on. If not, you can just hold the Palo Santo stick or your bundle of sage, and we can work with that. I like to have a white candle because white candles always represent positivity and positive energy. And I love having black protection stones around, such as black tourmaline or black obsidian. If it's black, then it aids in protection against negative energy. The intention of doing a cleansing ritual is to honor the greater good of all individuals living within the space. The cleanser must energetically ground and be in the proper mindset to project positivity, love, and light. Once the cleanser is grounded, they may ask aloud, "Angels and guides of pure love and light, please come forth and protect me through this ritual." The actions of a cleanse. Light the white candles, either one per open area for a whole house, or just one in the room chosen. Start at the door and let the smoke hit the perimeter of the doors. Start on one side and go around the perimeter of the room. Then weave through. Pay close attention to corners and nooks where the negative energy may accumulate. For sage smudging, I would advise opening any windows and doors if possible. This particular spell I'm about to say was created by me, and you're more than welcome to use it and either add to it later on or change things around or create your own. But this will give you a basic idea of the intentions to set while performing this ritual. This space is sacred. I cleanse with my divine guided might. All negative energies residing, I command with love, must move to the light. Chant love and light, love and light, love and light. Repeat spell. This space is sacred. I cleanse with my divine guided might. All negative energies residing, I command with love, must move to the light. Love and light, love and light, love and light. As you are speaking the spell and guiding through the room, you have your smoke guiding into all these spaces in your house, in your room, cleansing everything, recharging the energy, making it positive. You have the vibrations of your voice and your soul sending out positivity and love. You might start noticing when you have company come over to your home, they just feel so good, or they say they feel so comfortable in your home. You'll highly enjoy being in your home. And the overall vibe and energies of everything and everyone will just be extremely, extremely positive.